Thank you once again for coming in early morning. We do like to bring you in nice and early. I think a reasonable turnout. I think there's still more people coming in. As you come in, please just do find a seat somewhere near the front. Don't go and hide at the back. I think it leaves not much to the imagination. Why we're here. It's up on the slide behind me. The Department of Economic Development will be giving us a talk on Be Right. Okay, and I'd like now to hand over to Mr. Mohammed Luther, who will take you through the presentation this morning. So please do give him all your attention, and I'm sure he'll be taking questions afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Festival City on their continuous cooperation. Today we'll speak about several policies. We drafted the policies that we'd like to share with the private sector before approving them. The reason behind that is that we believe in the Department of Economic Development and the involvement of the private sector and the importance of their feedback. So after we discuss the policies, just please share with us your feedback so we can have a better policy in the future. Now, why do we exist here as a DED? Our mission is to create an environment for sustainable economic development to enhance the welfare and prosperity of the UAE, and we achieve that by developing and enhancing economic policy and regulation, providing efficient services to local and international investors and businesses, and identifying and supporting growth of key sectors. After we were established in 1992, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid enhanced our mandate in 2008 by adding additional responsibilities such as planning and regulating the overall economic performance of Dubai, and adding very essential responsibilities through consolidating 4 agencies under the umbrella of DED. The Foreign Investment Office, which is responsible of attracting investment in Dubai, and the export development agencies that helps to the local companies to export their goods and products and services out of the borders of the UAE. Dubai Events and Promotion Establishment, previously known as the Dubai Summer Festival Office, and now their extra mandate is to regulate the retail sector. And Mohammed bin Rashid Establishment for SME Development that aims to help the small and medium businesses to flourish and develop. We'll move on talking about the Commercial Control and Consumer Protection Division. This division in DED is responsible of ensuring that all businesses is compliant with the commercial laws and regulation. In addition to that, we ensure the proper implementation of the UAE Federal Law of Consumer Rights that was issued by His Highness Sheikh Khalifa, the President of the UAE. What does this law mean and aims for? This law will help in promoting a fair competition among businesses, and it will benefit both businesses, retailers and consumers, and it will increase the healthy level of environment in Dubai. You've been hearing a lot about the Know Your Rights, and you saw the slogan and stickers all over the shopping malls and some of other retail areas. What are those rights? We summarize those rights in 5 rights. The right to safety is to protect all of the consumers from any product that might harm their health. The right to know is to provide the consumer all of the information needed about the product before purchasing it. The right to choose is to choose from multiple products with the same features and level of quality and competitive price. The right to representation is to give the consumer the right to develop and suggest improvement on the products. And the right to be informed is what we are practicing here, and we did it in similar campaigns with the consumers, is to increase the level of awareness among retailers and consumers about the details of the law and the benefits of it. How would you benefit as a retailer from applying such laws and regulation? First of all, this will increase the level of customer service in your retail outlet. It will improve the customer loyalty. it will have a healthy environment in the same sector, and it will protect the retailers from inaccurate complaints. We in DED, we don't favor consumers over retailers and vice versa, even though the name of the law is consumer rights. It's just an international well-known phrase, but we always try to place justice in between, so we'll look at the problem from both sides. But to be able to help you as DED, there are certain steps that all retailers has to do. You should avoid any misleading advertisement. You should make all of your policies in regards of refund, exchange, or general sales policy clear and visible to the consumers. You should definitely sell in the UAE currency. You should provide all of the consumers with the receipts. And if there is some warranty and guarantee, you should highlight them. And more importantly, you should increase the level of information about the product among the salespeople. It's important for all salespeople to know the details required to sell this product before selling it to the consumer. It's part of the 5 rights that we just mentioned. The right to know. It's the right for all consumers to know whatever they need to know about the product before purchasing it. How would we help you, and especially in protecting you from inaccurate complaints? We in DED ensure that all consumers approach the retailer before registering a complaint with us. We always encourage to have a one-to-one discussion between the consumer and retailer. This will increase even the level of customer service and loyalty with the retailer. If we found out that the consumer did not approach the retailer, we'll advise the consumer to go back and talk to the retailer. Unless this talk happened, and if there is a case that they did not reach any resolution, then we will welcome this complaint. But again, we will listen to both sides. We will listen to the both sides of the story from both retailer and consumer. We'll try to bring the two sides together and find the best solution that will serve both within the boundaries of the law. Is it good to have complaints? Definitely it's good to have complaints. Since it's a free assessment tool, you can assess your business. You can know where are you standing against your competitor, and you're getting it for free. So we always encourage the retailers to take it as a positive development tool. But on the other hand, we have to be committed to try to resolve the problems. We have to be fair to all consumers that register complaints against us. We should not change the way we treat them after they file a complaint, and we should be accountable for any product that we sell or service. I'll just give you an overview about last year's campaign, and we'd like to thank all of the shopping mall that contributed successfully last year in this campaign. What you will see now is some pictures about last year's campaign. Some of them were in the malls and in the press. Now, those policies are the reason that we're here today. We'll cover up 4 policies: the warranty policy, exchange, invoices and services, and the refund. We chose to talk about 2 sectors, the textile garments and the electrical and electronics, due to the reason that those sectors mostly are the shopping malls. We already worked on a similar draft on the automobile sector that we will discuss it with the automobile group in separate sessions. Those policies will continue. We'll start covering up more sectors. So if you're not from one of these sectors and you believe that your sector has to be regulated as soon as possible, just feel free after the session to send us your feedback on the email address that we'll provide you, and we will try to prioritize it and see where it fits. The textile garments and fashion accessory. First of all, if you have a warranty, you have to specify it, and it should be clearly documented in Arabic and any other language. If there is no document for the warranty, then we will consider it that there is no warranty. And the same message will be sent to the consumers too. So please, if there is a warranty, you have to specify it in a document. And you have to clarify what does this warranty covers in garments and carpets, accessories. And you have, even more important than that, you have to specify what does make this warranty expired. It's very important to mention that. And a very common clause is that there is a misuse of the product. You should specify what is a misuse. We're dealing with more than 190 nationalities here in Dubai, and misuse varies from culture to culture. So it's very important to highlight whatever makes your warranty expired in your warranty. Now we'll move into the electric and electronic devices. You will notice that some of the clauses are repeated. The reason for that is that those policies will be distributed for different sectors. So each sector will just look at his policy in most of the times. That's why it's normal to have some repetition. Again, if for electrical and electronic devices, the warranty should be clearly documented in Arabic and other languages. You should clarify what does this warranty covers. Especially for lighting devices, electronics, equipment, furnaces, ventilators, ACs, toys, phones, and etc. And you should mention what will make this warranty expired. Now we'll move to the exchange policy. If during the warranty you are not being able to repair the problem, then you will move to the exchange. This is the next level, the next step in the process. The supplier shall replace the defective or difficult to repair garment, textile, such as color fading and fabric shrinkage and others, if the consumer adheres to the instruction of use. It's very important to provide the consumer with the instruction of use. We cannot assume that all of the consumers know how to use the product, especially if the product is sensitive and needs detailed instruction. If you prove that the defect did not happen from a misuse and it's a manufacturing defect, then you should replace it. But if the consumer misused it and he was provided with the instruction of use, then it should not be replaced because it's a defect as a nature of or a result of the misuse. Again, we have to specify the detail or the instruction of use for the customers. For all textile and garments, you have to be careful, especially in clothes, the way the clothes has to be treated, and washing the clothes, taking care of the clothes, especially in expensive ones. You have to tell the consumer, even if the tag is there behind the shirt, you have to mention to them how to use it. The same thing will apply in carpets and accessories. If there is a defective or difficult to repair product, then the retailer has to fix it. And a very famous or well-known case that started to increase somewhat, if there is no fitting room, especially you'll find this in clothes business or apparel business. Some of the fitting room are used as a store, or it's not proper fitting room, or there are no enough fitting room, and some of the salesmen, they just think of selling the product. They will tell the consumer that it's okay, you can try it on at home. If it does not fit you, you can bring it back. The problem occurs is that if they bring it back and they don't find a proper size, then you have to exchange it to them. If you don't have this size, you'll end up even, what we'll talk after a while, you'll end up even refunding it. So the complication started from not having a fitting room. So to avoid this small complication that might increase, it's better to have everything ready up front. Now the same thing will apply in electronic and electrical devices. If the equipment is defective or difficult to repair as electronics, and you prove that the consumer adhered to the instruction of use, then you shall replace the product. And it will apply on all products such as lighting, ventilation systems, ACs, heaters, phones and toys and similar products. We'll move now to a more generic policy, the invoices and service provided. This policy covers most of the sectors. It concentrates on the invoice and the detail of the invoice. First of all, on any invoice that you issue, it should specify the required detail about the product, such as the quantity of the product, the name of the product, the date of purchase, the buyer name, and the price. If in some cases the warranty is stated on the invoice, in some businesses they don't have a separate warranty document, they state it on the invoice, you should mention what does this warranty covers. If you just leave it as a warranty with mentioning the duration, then we will assume in DED that this is an overall warranty that will cover all parts of the product. And if the product went through a repair, you should mention on the invoice, if needed, what is the status of the product now and after the repair. And there is a very important point here. When you will mention the breakdown of the receipt with the prices, you should mention each product separately with its price. Because if the product was not being able to repair under the warranty or exchange, and we'll move down to the refund after a while, we will refund just this part or this product. If you just have a lump sum, this will have a complication for the retailer. So you'll always try to avoid the lump sum amount. And in some businesses, such as restaurants and cafes, they offer a service charge. It's not allowed to have service charge unless you're serving alcoholic beverages, because the government enforce tax on such businesses and they have the right to place a service charge on it. Now we move to the last step, the cash refund. If you notice, we went through a sequence of trying to repair the product under the warranty. It was not prepared. Then we moved to the exchange. You don't have a similar product with similar features. Then you move to the cash refund. In the exchange, there is a very famous case that especially arises in electronic, that the product is out of stock. They don't have maybe proper integration with their warehouse, and more than one branch is selling from the same warehouse. And they end up with a case that they just, for example, the TV is out of stock, and they try to offer the customer sometimes a better TV with the same price. Some customers, they refuse to take it and they ask for a refund. It is their right to ask for the refund, because the sale process is a contract between you and them. You agreed on specific features. You cannot force them and push them to take a better feature. If you do that and you convince them, then you're a good salesman. But if you can't do that, it's their right to take the refund, because they have some reasons that they might not be able to disclose with the sales person why they want this specific product or specific color. Even in clothes, maybe it's the same size, they just want this color. It's their right, because at the beginning, you sold them this product. That's why we always encourage retailers to have better integration with their warehouses and to check the stocks before selling the product. Now we'll move to the cash or refund. In textile, if the product was defective, difficult to repair, and you did not have a replacement for it, then you will eventually end up refunding the amount. Now, going back to the small problem that became large problem, there is no fitting room. As we can see over here, just because of a small, I would say, complication, you don't have a proper fitting room, and the customer came back, they tried to replace with a different size, the size is not available, they will end up refunding it. So to avoid this whole cycle, it's better to ensure that you have a proper fitting room. Now, since those policies that you see now are all optionals, all of the policies that we discussed here are optional. We will never enforce all of such policies on retailers. You can have your own policy. You can say, I don't do refund, I don't do exchange, it's up to you. any policy you can that you should you take care of it your way. But as long as we receive the complaint, those policies will be active. So if your consumers are happy, it's up to you. That's good job. We always in Dubai try to have different options. We will never enforce policies on businesses. We always believe that businesses should have some freedom. But if the consumer files a complaint, even if your policy contradicts with this one will be taken in place because this is derived from the law. So that's why we always advise businesses to try to minimize the gap between their policies and such policies just to avoid complications. And if you have your policy, it should be stated clearly and in the retail outlets. You should tell your consumers about it. It's not about just hanging it behind the cashier. You should tell them about it, especially in terms of exchange, replacement, and refund. There is a very common complaint about the method of refund. Some consumers, they pay through credit card, and after 1 or 2 days they want to take a refund. You agreed on the refund, but they want the refund in cash. We in DED encourage the refund in the same mean of payment. So if the customer paid in credit, he should get his credit recharged. You will face some tourists saying that they don't have time, they will leave. We will never force the retailer to recharge a refund in cash. It's up to the retailer if they want to have better customer loyalty. But if they don't, then what we will tell the consumer that he should get his money the same way he paid. And that's why, to avoid such complications, just mention in your policy, if you pay by credit card, you will get your money back in such period. If you pay by cash, you'll get your money back in cash. Just mention the detail, whatever detail you face. We don't advise of DED having such policy into detail. We don't want to have one policy and we give it to all retailers. We know that we have more than 1,800 business activities in Dubai. We cannot do one generic activity that will fit everybody. We're dealing with different businesses. Different businesses have different requirements. You have the freedom to develop the proper policy if it does not contradict with ours. And you should inform the consumer before they buy so they can know exactly and make their proper decision. And it will help you in minimizing the number of complaints that you receive. Talking about the electric and electronic devices, the same terms will apply. If the product is defective and difficult to repair, then it should be refunded. And there is a very famous case in electric and electronic devices, since most of those products are imported. In some cases, the product does not fit the environment of the UAE, cannot take the humidity or heat or certain factors of the environment, which will end up breaking down continuously, and the retailer might be able to fix it temporarily or not being able to fix it. So we won't be able to fix it. Even if you replace it, it does not make any sense to replace it with similar products, so you'll end up in refunding it. It's better always to contact the manufacturer and the mother company and inform them of the environment factors in the UAE. If they cannot modify this product, then you take the risk and responsibility of selling such products. Even if you inform the consumer that this product does not fit the environment of the UAE, and even if you make them sign on it, but it's stated by law, you cannot sell something that does not fit. So that's why we advise all retailers to try to make sure that this product, either try it before selling it, that if it is fine with our environment or not. And if it is not, it's always advisable to contact the manufacturer to modify the product so it can survive in our environment. We'd like to thank you for attending here today. This is our email. We'll welcome all of your feedback and suggestions for the policies that you saw today, and even for any other policies that we did not cover. And this is our hotline. Even though you're a retailer, but still you are a consumer on your daily life, you can always call this number if you have any complaint. And this is the fax number that can welcome your feedback and suggestions. And I'll invite Mr. Abdullah Al-Shahi, the Director of Consumer Protection, and Ahmed Al-Hajri, a legal consultant in our department. And I just would like to remind you, after we get done with the Q&A session, just don't forget to fill out the questionnaire, and there's some certificate for you to pick up before you leave. Thank you.
Actually, in the DED, we put a target. It's 4 days to close the complaint, and we solve the problem, the complaint between the consumer and the retailers. The target is 4 days.
4 days?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning. There is some product which is a customer has been bought from Europe or out of UAE, and this product which is international and is not supplied by the country over here. And for some of the customers, they find out there is manufacturing on this product or whatever going on, so they would like to refund or to replace it or whatever, which is not supported or the companies over here are not able to refund for them or to return the cash or whatever. Okay. So what shall we do? Because there is some of the customers are coming on and they're saying that we are going to the government to know our right, and a lot of things like this we faced last 2-3 weeks.
Okay, so if I'll just repeat the question and just so I can make sure that I understood it properly. You're selling some imported products and from Europe, and maybe it does not fit the environment here, right? What you said?
It's about clothes and bags, which is expensive clothes and bags.
Okay.
The customer put from Euro.
Okay. You're selling clothes and bags. We don't think that there is a problem in that. But if the bag and clothes don't have any defect and you can make sure that the consumer used it properly, but the bag still have a problem, then you should exchange it. First, try to repair it. If you cannot repair it, then exchange it. The last option is the refund. This is what we will go through. But if the product was damaged because of the misuse of the consumer, or just the consumer just changed their mind, they say we don't want it, this will go back to your policy. We will never enforce anything such like that. If any consumer just walks in and just change his mind about the product, then it's up to the consumer the first time, what did the consumer buy this product? Unless your policy have some thing that cover that. In some businesses, they have policies of upgrades and exchange. It's up to them. But for us, what we will advise the repairing and exchanging and refunding only if there is a defect in the product and it's difficult to be repaired, and the consumer used the instruction of use. So you have to provide the consumer how to use the product. If they used it properly and the problem was there, this is the only case that you should repair or exchange or refund. But if your policy states refund or exchange in different way, then it's up to you. Thank you.
I believe there is many of retailers, they are dealing with the tourist people, I mean, who's coming from outside. The tourism, actually, they have an idea because maybe in their country, the policies of the shop is different than here. That's why they are thinking maybe he can use the product and he can change it if he changes his mind. That's why if you deal with the tourism, it's better to be, your policy is very clear, very visibly, okay, and clear to the tourism or the other consumer. That's why you will not facing any problem in the future. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. We are from Chic Shoes and we are selling shoes.
There are many cases in the past where some of our customers will complain about not being comfortable with the shoes, and they relate it sometimes saying there is a problem with the shoe. In some cases, we try to check first if they have used it properly or not. And in most cases, they did use it properly, and still they will insist that I am not comfortable, so that means there is a problem with the shoe. What do you advise us to do in this case? Because normally they will say they will go to DED.
Actually, regarding your case, first of all, your policy should be very clear regarding the exchange or refund policy. You have to be clear with that, for example, if you are selling some sort of items, that these items will be, for example, a period of time that the consumer may change it. But if the consumer, he has tried such item and he is comfortable with at the beginning, and after that he is demanding for refund, it is up to your policy first of all. And if you did face any kind of any problems with that, the consumer may contact us in the economic department, and we will see and we will look what exactly is the problem. So it is advisable for your policy to be very clear to the consumer so that you can know your rights and he can know also his rights.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, good morning. I'm not a retailer, I'm a consumer. There is a case that I have faced with a couple of friends when we have moved to some places living in Dubai.
We cannot hear you there.
All right. Okay. In some cases when you buy some electronics, and this common problem when they tell you that it has been damaged because of electricity, and they always say that it's not their problem, but then again it's not my problem because it's the electricity of the house. If you go to the landlord to ask him to pay for it, he will say you have to, and if you go to the retailer, he will tell you, no, it's your problem, we're not gonna fix it. And I'm talking about like electronics which are expensive, TV, fridge, something like that. So basically, in this case, who's going to refund?
Okay. First of all, across the UAE, either you're living in a building or in a house, the electricity is unified and it's 220 volts. The reason that this case will happen is that the product in the first step does not suit the environment and the technology used in the UAE. So this product is not made for such electricity. If we receive such complaint, we will try to look in detail in it. If the product was a reason of not being compatible with the environment and technology and electricity used in the UAE, then you should get your product replaced, or if they don't have such product, then you should get your money back. But if the product was, in most cases, they are defected. Maybe there is a problem in this product. We will contact both retailer and you, and we will make sure to investigate this problem more. And if this defect is not due to a misuse from your side, as you said, you just use the product as the instruction stated, then we will advise the retailer to repair it. If it cannot be repaired, then they should exchange it. And if not, then you'll get your money back.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Hello. Good morning. And then the price on the bag was saying 199. So I asked the sales lady how much it is, and she said to me it's 199. And then when I went to the counter to pay for it, the lady saying it is 259. So on what price should I be buying it?
such of this problem, actually, what is displayed on the goods, you have to buy it. You have to pay that price. We received many complaints about this. Maybe the retailers or the traders, they not follow up their prices on the products. Maybe there was changing, maybe there was a sale. But what is on the price? The price on the products, you have to buy it, not more than that. And if you're facing any problem such as that problem, you can go back to the DED and we will solve it. Because this is under the law, supposed to be every product there is a price on it, okay, and the consumer, they have to pay that price, not more than that. Thank you.
Good morning. Do you implement a certain time limit for the exchange? For example, in our company, we do have 1 month for the exchange or a refund. But if a customer will come back after 2 years to tell me that I need to exchange.
If there is no defect in the product, then your policy will take place. 1 month is enough. But if there is a manufacturer defect and the consumer did not use the product as the instruction of use stated, then as long as the warranty is valid, then you should exchange it, even if it's more than 2 years. It depends on the warranty.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. You mentioned earlier that it was up to the retailer how they tell their customer their own personal policy, but what would you recommend, as in what would the DED prefer as the way the retailer directs the customer their policy? Do you feel a sign behind the till or at the till is ideal, or if it's on the receipt, is that enough? What would you look most favorably on?
We don't advise to have anything on the receipt and to have it in a size 3 font that no one can read it, even with a binocular, and at the bottom of the page, left corner, and then you can't. And sometimes even behind the receipt with the same size of font. The receipt is just made for the detail of the sales process, the product, the quantity, the price. And to answer your question, it depends on your business. And some businesses that does not have a lot of customer footstep, like jewelry and some luxury shops, they can even tell the consumer in detail verbally. But in high traffic businesses, you should put it in visible places, behind the cashier or in any place. You should be creative how you send this information to the consumer based on your business. We did not want to specify methodology of transferring it because it might work for some businesses and it might affect other businesses negatively. So as long as your consumer gets the message, this is our aim.
Thank you.
And there is an important point that I want to add too. In some businesses that are related to health and hygiene problems, such as underwear and some other businesses, you can state that there is no exchange and refund. There is no exchange in the product, but you should inform the consumer that before buying the product to check it. Such products contradict with even the first right that we stated. As you notice, what we talked about first is the right to safety. Even though there is a right to exchange, we know that, but safety comes first. We know the health problems that might occur in exchanging such products, so it's always advisable to check the products before selling it and to inform the consumer. And we received a complaint recently about even cosmetics. That someone, they bought a lipstick and then they stated that it was tried before. So a simple solution that we advise the retailer to do is after the consumer buys the product, just to to open up the box in front of them and show them that it's not used, and then put it back on the cashier and then sell it. Just to protect the retailer, and even more than that, to protect all of the society by not exchanging such health-sensitive products.
Good morning, sir. So I am from jewelry. So there is, as per the Dubai law, is it compulsory for the exchange policy?
Okay. In jewelry, in most cases, it's almost difficult to have a defect, a manufacturing defect in it. But if there is a manufacturing defect, and most of the cases, jewelry people, they're very good in fixing it. So if you can fix it, then there is no problem in it. But they cannot say that they just want an exchange. If, for example, someone bought a necklace of diamonds and you can fix it and you fixed it, then they don't have to always ask for a refund or an exchange. Unless you want to do the exchange, then it's up to you. Okay, last question.
Okay, sorry, good morning. I'm working as optical, and the problem sometimes like we face with the consumer problem, like every 2 months or 3 months we are under promotion or as a sales item, anything. And the consumer, when he will come to buy like a normal discount or fix a price, and then we are on optical, some item as a special order will get 1 week or 2 weeks. And they will come to purchase the item if they pay as advance payment or fully payment. When they will come to purchase the item, they will see the shop under promotion or sale. And they will start to complain, and they need to be the item under promotion or the sale. If we will not accept it, they will say we need to refund the money back or as advance payment. Who will be right?
Okay, your case is similar to some businesses like furniture, customized furniture that a customer might buy today and get his furniture after 3 months. Any order business, it is the receipt of the day of purchase. When you sold it, there was no promotion, then the consumer has to stick to this price. We cannot just force retailers to not to do any promotion just because they have one consumer that they sold or ordered the product for him, and they have to wait for the product to come, and after that they will do a promotion. So what regulates the sales process between you and the consumer is the receipt. So if you sold it with a certain price and you ordered it, and after 2 weeks when he came he found the sale, then it's your right that the consumer pays the amount on the receipt. Not what the sale price is, but and he cannot ask for a refund for it unless you want to do it. Then it's up to you. But he should pay exactly what's the receipt of that date specified. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you again on attending, and just don't forget to fill out the questionnaires, and there's some participation certificate waiting for you outside. Thank you.
Okay, that's it for the paparazzi. Please do go and have a coffee and a sandwich. And also, just one more time, if you can put your hands together, say thank you to DED.